Today's a big day in that we had a G7 and President Macron, who's a very special man in my book.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. I want to thank Mr. President for his hospitality. We had a good discussion this morning for the G7 here.
Yeah.
And for the third year of this war in Ukraine, and I think our common objective clearly is to build peace, and a solid and long-standing peace.
Very special with France and very special with this gentleman on my right. And we look forward to keeping that going for a long period of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
You convinced Vladimir Putin to accept the European troops as peacekeeper, would you think?
Yeah, he will accept that.
He will accept
I've asked him that question.
You talked to him?
I've asked him that question.
He said yes?
going to lift the block on the
Because he's not, look, if we do this deal, he's not looking for more war. He doesn't mind. But I've specifically asked him that question. He has no problem with it.
Is France going to
And this is a very important moment for Europe as well, and I'm here as well after discussions with all my colleagues to say that Europe is willing to step up, to be a stronger partner.
Mr. President, are you thinking of going to Moscow soon, maybe in May for the 9th of May for the anniversary?
I mean, not soon, but I would be certainly, if this all gets settled out, which I think it will, sure, I would go there, sure. And he'd come here, too.
On the 9th of May on the Red Square?
I don't know, 9th of May, no, I don't, I think that's pretty soon. But no, at the appropriate time, I would go to Moscow. I think the war could end soon.
How soon?
Within weeks.
Weeks?
Yeah, I think so, right? Don't you think so? I'd like to have you, I think we could end it within weeks if we're smart.
To do more in defense and security for this continent, and as well to be a reliable partner.
critical minerals deal?
It looks like we're getting very close. The deal's being worked on, and we're, I think, getting very close to getting an agreement where we get our money back over a period of time. But it also gives us something where I think it's very beneficial to their economy, to them as a country. But, you know, we're in for $350 billion. How we got there, I don't know, but that's a lot of money, a lot of money invested, and we had nothing to show for it. And it was the Biden administration's fault.
Mr. President,
Support the idea to send European troops in Ukraine to back the ceasefire?
European troops may go into Ukraine as peacemakers. So when the agreement is done, they can watch that everything's followed properly. I don't think that's going to be a problem. And a lot of the European countries, I think, I don't want to speak for France, but I know that the president's talked about doing that also. I think that'll be a very good day when we can go in as peacekeepers as opposed to what's going on right now with everybody being killed.
Will they
So.
have U.S. backing, those troops going in?
Very strong American involvement. Europe, of course, also stands ready to support Ukraine.
Will France support the U.S. being compensated?
I support the idea to have Ukraine first being compensated because they are the one to have lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by these attacks. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because they were the one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total efforts, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear. We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day and Russia would have paid for that.
If you
This is my
believe
wish.
that, it's okay with me.
Mr.
But
President.
they get their money back, we don't, and now we do. In Europe are going to get back to their business. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Mr. President, you meet with President.
Supporting its military.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.